Okay, look. I want to be clear. I want to be clear. No, I want to be clear. Okay, look. I still believe, that's why I said I'm happy that you came from your perspective first.
Okay.
As a woman, like I said, you have a biological clock you need to be concerned about.
We always got so much.
Y'all got all the pressure. Y'all got all the pressure. So y'all have a biological clock you have to be concerned about. But I will say, knowing your purpose and knowing certain things up front at that age is probably, by the time you in your early 20s, 21, 22, 23, it's good. Because if you don't even want kids, that's going to affect the type of men you're going to end up with.
Welcome
to the J&O Show,
where we talk about
things that we were never told. I'm Jay.
And I'm O.
And now you know.
If you guys are new to our channel, please make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure you turn on your post notifications so you can know when we upload. Alright, because you never want to miss an episode. Also, if you guys are new here, we want you to drop us some ideas for show topics. If you have any of those, you want to put them in the comment section and write hashtag next show. So that way we can easily filter through and bring you the topics that you want. Okay? All right.
Indeed.
So today we are actually going to kind of segue off of another episode, which may have been last week or maybe not, but I'll put it in here. Where we were talking about basically, should you talk about marriage on the first date? And I had an idea,
bing,
that came up while we were doing that, and I was like,
oh, we should talk about this.
And that was basically, how soon should I get married? Men versus women.
Yes.
Because I think that that's very interesting.
It's a nuanced subject.
Yes.
There are many sides to it. It's not as simple as you may think.
Right. And so, okay, so one avenue that one can come from with that in regards to a woman as far as how soon she should get married. I think the sooner the better. And the reason why I say that even more so now, because if you would have asked me when I got married, which I did get married young, but if you would have asked me when I got married, what I would have said, it probably would have been a little bit different. But just learning new things about life and just really thinking about being intentional with relationship and all that encompasses, because I don't think that I ever really sat down and thought about that exactly. So what am I saying? I'm rambling. Okay.
Bruh.
So for example, I always knew that I wanted to have children. I used to say I wanted 4 kids, just like my mom. I wanted 2 boys and 2 girls. Like that was in the cards. Who knows exactly what you want to get? But anyway, I used to say that, right? Actually, we used to say that we wanted 4 kids. And I always knew that I wanted to be active with my kids. So I knew that I was going to have them relatively young by a certain time. Before or on 30, basically, I knew that I wanted to have my kids. Well, if I was going to have 4, probably before then, because I wanted to make sure that I was done by a certain age, right? So when you have that, I guess, in mind, as far as wanting to have a family, want to have kids and things of that nature, and you want to have a certain type of lifestyle with your kids, like if you want to be active and able to keep up with your kids, you want to make sure that you have them relatively young. If you're going to have multiple, you probably want to start having them sooner than later. I don't necessarily want to give an age per se, but I know for me personally, I wanted to be done having children by the time I was 33 or 34. And that was pushing it for me personally, because I knew that once I was in my 40s, like I wanted my kids to be a certain age. So, we can do stuff together, and not just that, but in their younger years, I was still able to keep up with them. I thought that I would have had children sooner, but it just didn't work out that way. And I'm kind of glad that it did, because it gave us the opportunity to get to be husband and wife and really get to sit in that and have a relationship, excuse me, and build on our friendship and everything like that. So that by the time they got here, it was just like, okay, we had a strong foundation basically for us to be able to build our family on. But yeah, that's all I have to say, that I think it's important when you are thinking about getting married and having a family as a woman, you have to think about those things. You have to think, okay, if I want kids, how many kids do I want? What type of life do I want with my kids? Do I want to be able to be on the floor crawling around with them? You know, like, let me tell you something. The older you get, okay, when you start getting up, creeping over a certain age, especially if you're not active, like if you're not the athletic type or something like that, stuff get hard, okay? It ain't the same. Things don't quite move the same, okay? Your knees and all kind of, it just don't, you know. Anyway, but yeah, you want to make sure that you have the ability to be able to keep up with your kids. So you really want to think about that. Do I really want to wait until I'm, you know, well into my 30s, early 40s or something like that before I start having kids? Because what type of life are you going to have with your kids if you wait a long time to do it? So I think that if that is your goal, if that's what you want, that you should probably start sooner than later. So I'm gonna pause right there.
So she gave you one side of it that is very important. Different from men, obviously, because we can father children until we like 60, 70, whatever it is. So you can father children, but you still have to be concerned, like she said, about, do you want to be active with them? When your son gets to a certain age, do you want to be able to actually throw the ball with him, play catch and stuff like that? Is that important to you? It's not important to every parent. It's fine, but you need to have that in the back of your mind. But for us, you know, we don't have the biological clock. Our clock generally is our ability to provide, protect for our family and to have guidance and an understanding of where you want to be. So for us, you know, it could be a little bit later. I would say, after having said that, I think that for both men and women, having an understanding of your purpose is probably more important than all of it. And that's one of the things that you don't hear a lot of relationship type driven shows talk about, especially when it comes to women. But you have to have an idea of what your purpose is. It's unfortunate, but we live in a society that doesn't really talk a lot about purpose. They talk about career, they talk about being able to take care of yourself and survive, and they'll talk about family, but you don't hear a lot of people talk about purpose. And right. I would think that the reason, having some understanding or idea at least of why you're here and what you should be doing while you're here makes some sense. And for people who are doing it in a religious context, you should probably be about God or version of God that you serve, what it is that he's supposed to be, he or she or it has you here doing. You should probably be concerned about that first, because everything else will fall into place once you start doing that. And for people who aren't doing it in a religious context, living and expanding in your gifts, which is attached directly to your purpose, and doing that is the thing that will lead you to those things. For me, I think that that is the most important, because getting in a marriage and not having a sense of purpose, a sense of direction, a sense of happiness that is not dependent on your partner, which is one of the big hardships that a lot of marriages have, because you think that your partner is going to make you happy. That emotional rush that you get from being with your partner, that sense of peace that you get from being with your partner is a bonus, but it is not the center of your happiness. And if you haven't worked on that within yourself, then you're just going to bring all of that negativity and all of that bad feelings, those bad vibes, all of that damage into your relationship and into your family. So I wish that we lived in a society that pushed mental health and counseling and those things and understanding of what purpose is more, because outside of being a doctor or a lawyer, a lot of people don't really concern themselves as much with purpose. If you're doing that, everything can be put on hold. If you're in medical school or law school, you can put your whole situation on hold as long as you want to, and people, for the most part, just don't bother you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you in law school, he's doing something. Well, we all doing something. We all are. It doesn't matter. It honestly does not matter how big or small it may be in the eyes of you or society.
Right.
You have to be secure enough in yourself and what it is your gifts are, and you have to be engaged in doing that, I believe, before you're concerned about marriage. For me, that is the real catalyst about how long you should wait. Not necessarily an age number, but have you thought about why you're here? Mm-hmm. And what you're supposed to be doing? Are you happy within yourself? Because if you're not, all you're gonna do is bring damage and confusion into your relationship. There are those who may say, "Hey, I found this person and I want to be with them, and we can just figure it out." And guess what? That's what we did. That's what we did. And I will tell you that there was no shortage of issues that those things brought into our marriage. But I will also advocate on the other side and say that we have a good marriage, like she said, because we still were able to build a foundation. Right. I didn't even know I should be looking for purpose for the majority of our marriage. I didn't know I was supposed to be looking for it. I didn't know that I should be trying to base everything around it. And now I find myself in a situation where I'm trying to figure that out and put that in place. And our marriage has already been in place and already has certain things set. And I'm breaking up the foundation of our marriage to try to pour in my purpose. And that has caused no small amount of issues in our marriage. It has caused large issues in our marriage. So for me, having gone through that experience, I would say you need to know who you are, why you are here, and be about the work of completing that task before you're worried about marriage. Because it can come and upend and disrupt everything. True. And purpose isn't like your new car or a house. It will not just go away. You can't just pay the bill off. Because once you find out about purpose, especially if you know what it is and you decide to not do it,
you'll be miserable.
You will be miserable. Mm-hmm. And that is another thing that will affect your marriage.
Yeah.
So it is highly important that you think on that and figure it out. And the younger that you do that, the younger you can worry about getting married. Some people, they seem to, some people, them people in high school that just be getting it, class president, they doing this, they doing that, and they lawyer, and they just know it. God bless you. Because you got it young. Yeah. And I don't know if it's your environment or if you just knew, or because what it is that you were meant to do lined up with what is usually taught to us.
Yeah.
You're very fortunate. I don't know how you fell into your situation, how you knew what you were supposed to be doing and all of that other stuff. But whatever it was, God bless you, and I'm happy for you. I'm happy somebody got it, But for a lot of us, it don't come while you in high school because you not even looking for it. You don't even know to look for it.
Yeah, I was going to say majority of us don't know
that we
should be looking for it. And the thought came to me while you were talking just now. Mm-hmm. So, do you think that it's more important for a man to know his purpose before getting married
than a woman?
Than a woman. And the reason why I say that is because it's usually the man is the head of the household, and he would typically be, the breadwinner and different things of that nature. I'm just putting this out there just for content or for conversation. Mm-hmm. But I'm just wondering, do you think that it's more important for a man to have than a woman before they get married? Is it more important for a male to have his purpose or understand his purpose before he gets married versus a woman having that?
Well, if now here's the thing about that, what she just said. A lot of marriages don't follow a lot of traditional rules. So a lot of men's ain't head of their household in today's society. A lot of women are the heads of the household in today's society. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of different situations.
But why?
Concerning marriage.
Why is it that women are head of the household?
It's a lot of that independent woman stuff. It's a lot of the damage that has been happening to people concerning, in our community, a lot of, systematic racism and all of that type of stuff. A lot of people are being raised in situations where they don't know how to be in relationships. A lot of men, a lot of dudes is doing this beta stuff. A lot of people, when women started to become independent, a lot of men just sort of fell back. It's a lot of stuff.
But do you think, so to that point, do you think that if a man knew what his purpose was, it wouldn't necessarily be that? It wouldn't be that they would be beta males and the woman would be the head of the household?
No. Well, I think if men knew their purpose, that they would move differently in that situation. But it's person to person basis. It's hard for me to say one is more important than the other, because if you're a woman, you want to be on your purpose, and if you're a man, you want to be on your purpose.
No, true, but
but if a man is the head of the household and there isn't strife in the household, like when you have strife in a household where the woman won't be submissive and the man won't take the lead,
okay,
it don't matter. Because she's not listening to him, whether it's because he's being too timid or it's because she's being too forceful, you're not getting anywhere. So so that's why I was like, yo, it almost has to be in our current situation, not in an ideal situation. In our current society, it has to be, literally every person has to look out and have their own mind as to what their purpose is, because things are so backwards in a lot of our family structures, where you have men that are not necessarily being men if they're there, and then you have a lot of women who are trying to take the role of men. So having both of those situations, a lot of households are operating a little bit out of whack. And so, the man knowing his purpose and stuff, a guy who knows his purpose, a lot of times, if the woman has grown up in a household where that was the situation, she's going to mirror what she grew up in. So she's going to be forceful. And if you meet a man in his purpose, y'all not even going to get along, because you don't know how to, he ain't going to get with you anyway. He going to find somebody that's submissive if he's on his purpose and he knows what he's supposed to be doing.
Well,
so it's one of those things, unfortunately, where it's like, yo, every person, the woman, she has to include what her purpose is and what she wants. Like she has to know, and she has to go out and find a guy that will fit into that picture. And same thing for a man. I'm sorry, y'all. It's not like the easy cut and dry.
Yeah, it's not clean cut.
If the man got it, then everything. No, because the man can have it, and depending on the house situation, it might not matter, because there's so much strife and imbalance in their relationship. So it depends, unfortunately, on a house to house basis. It's not like a beautiful cookie cutter answer. Sorry, y'all. I wish it was, but it's not. So but regardless of anything, I think that we really need to restructure almost how we are taught. Like, I'm very concerned about my children and their schooling and getting them to understand, certain things at a certain age, because you don't have forever to figure stuff out, especially for my daughter. She don't got forever. And that's something I think about a lot. So it's going to be a lot of purpose talk in our life, in our household. And I'm just hoping that we'll be able to guide them to know what they want to do, so that they at least have a goal to be searching for, no matter how. Yeah, because early signs indicate that my son's going to have a rough time. Because what he's choosing is not one of them careers where you can just go to school and start applying for jobs type things. He's doing one of them careers that you don't want your kids to do.
We don't know yet.
We don't know, but
it remains to be seen.
Preliminary things look real rough for him, and I'm just like, oh man, not that, man. No.
Never know. But anywho, so yeah, let us know what your thoughts are. Yeah. What do you guys think in regards to how soon you should get married? What do you think? Do you think it matters age-wise? Do you think it's more important for women to be thinking about it earlier, like I was saying? Or do you think that it's more along the lines of what Jay was saying in regards to actually being more about your purpose?
Oh, okay. Look. I want to be clear. I want to be clear. No, I want to be clear. Okay, look. I still believe, that's why I said I'm happy that you came from your perspective first.
Okay.
As a woman, like I said, you have a biological clock you need to be concerned about.
We always got so much. Y'all
got all the pressure. Y'all got all the pressure. So y'all have a biological clock you have to be concerned about. But I will say, knowing your purpose and knowing certain things up front at that age is probably, by the time you in your early 20s, 21, 22, 23, it's good. Because if you don't even want kids, that's going to affect the type of man that you're gonna end up with. A lot of men want children of their own. Not somebody else's kids. They want their own children. So you have to, like, all of those things matter. So the earlier you can come to that conclusion, the better. And I would definitely suggest that we start getting used to the word therapy, because some of these things, it's going to be hard to figure out on your own.
Yeah.
So you're going to need somebody to talk to that can make sense of certain things and be like, you don't even like kids. What you mean you want 4?
Bruh.
You don't even like kids. What you mean 4 kids? That don't make no sense. Are you listening to yourself?
Yeah.
Sometimes you need somebody from the outside to make sense of certain things.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, don't be scared.
Yeah.
Don't be scared.
Yeah, so how soon should I get married?
I know
get therapy.
We don't usually want to seek counseling and therapy and stuff really like that. But we, out of all people.
we need it.
We need it.
All that trauma. So yeah. So how soon should you get married?
We don't know, but we did it earlier. So, but let us know what you guys think. Drop us some comments down below and let us know your thoughts on this topic. And also, if you do have a topic that you'd like us to talk about, don't forget, put #next show, so that way we can filter through and bring you the topics that you want to hear. Indeed. All right, but that's going to do it for today, guys. We hope that you enjoyed. We'll see you back here next week, next Friday, same bat channel.
This is Idiom Sounds.
I don't remember anything. All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Press the off button.